Hello everyone and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast on the internet with over 75,000 world premieres. I'm Will and joining me this week, Brandon.
I'm the one that they saved for the end.
Ills.
BioWare is back, baby.
Saf.
A year exclusive on PlayStation 5.
And Muzamil.
I don't even know where the number 75,000 comes from.
I said 75 sounds too small. We might have actually gotten close to that number in the Game Awards, so I need to make it ridiculous, you know? Add 1,000 on it.
Yeah,
Wow. 75 million.
75 million. Yeah, so we're back. The podcast. Saf's back, everyone. Round of applause for our special lad.
Don't get too used to it. He'll go missing for a while again. I guarantee it.
Was
the
he
holiday
trying to
season.
keep me away from the podcast? It never worked.
I know how it goes.
Last week,
That's the best kind of unveil. Is listen, here's this thing's returned, but don't get too excited. It's going to leave you again.
Yeah.
I just love last week where it's literally Muzzy was like, let's record tomorrow. And everyone was like, okay. And then I made plans. And then an hour later, I was like, let's record in an hour. I'm like, shit, I made plans. So
Alright, I will admit last week was my bad, but
I'm sure I can find a way to blame you for the other weeks as well. Give me some time.
yeah.
It's alarmingly easy to do that. So, as has been alluded to, the Game Awards happened this week, everyone.
They did.
Before we get to the announcements, which I feel like, there was plenty of this go around. Last of Us 2 won the Game of the Year. Congrats to the team.
Ooh.
And everything else.
And everything else. Most awards.
Yes.
Whoa.
Best indie. Best online.
Best fighting game.
Best, yeah.
Yeah.
Best
I don't know.
community support.
Best multiplayer.
All of the above. It earned and more. So I feel I was funny to watch the Game Awards and realize how much of an award show is took up by insert name here. Game 2. We cut an hour just purely off of claps, not in between the different games in the categories.
Bless America.
Which, I mean, honestly, even when the crowds are back, I know it would be stupid. It would feel very weird for a crowd to just sit there with their hands and they're sitting on their hands when your games are getting announced, but it would make a better show. But we had plenty of things to watch, to talk about. We'll just get to the thing that they opened the show with. They had the pre-show where they had gameplay trailers for things like Nier Replicant, right? That looked good. Mists is getting a VR game. But Nintendo announced this earlier in the day. Guess what? We're just getting right to it. Smash character. Big old gleam is in the sky, got cut in half with diamonds because Sephiroth is here. The one-winged angel is in Smash Brothers.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Is there a point where Smash can jump the shark? Curious.
Have we not already reached there? Right? Like multiple times at this point, I guess. Right? Like, I mean, I'm excited for this. This is such a cool announcement. Sephiroth, but at the same time, this is some fan fiction bullshit, right? Like
It's pretty wild.
One of the best Twitter accounts on Twitter is just just an account that just quotes stuff from fanfiction.net. And there was one that was like Sephiroth sneers down at Marth and says, "What are you even doing here, idiot?" And it was from 2007, and it's like in 2020, that's real. That's just a real thing.
It's just a thing that here we are.
And then he went on to go to be a creator in Smash Brothers.
The more
That was
DLC
fucking
that gets revealed for fucking Smash Ultimate, the more I'm thinking the roster for the next Smash game is gonna suck shit.
It's gonna.
man.
There's no chance.
Like you cannot escalate. But here's the funny thing, right? Is that multiple times in the last, like, I don't know, since Snake was revealed, probably,
Yeah.
that I have said to myself, Smash cannot surprise me anymore. You know? Just over and over again. I tell myself, Smash cannot surprise me anymore. After Cloud got in, it was like, okay, we're done here, right? And they did it again and again and again. And fucking Sephiroth this in this game. Like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, and part of the reason that's surprising is because Smash fans, if you've ever been in a Smash community before, they love rules. They love patterns more than anything else in the world.
Of course.
Sephiroth breaks 2 rules. 1, we haven't had a villain in the DLC yet, right? He's the first one. And 2, it's the first third-party franchise to get a second non-Echo fighter, right? Street Fighter has Ken and Castlevania has Richter, but this is the second pass, and it's Sephiroth's the first one that gets to do that, which is
should have just made him an Echo.
Wow. Didn't know Bayonetta was a Echo fighter of Sonic.
No, that's not the same franchise,
that's
Brandon.
company franchise. Like,
Oh, in the same
franchise because Square already has Hero.
yeah,
Same franchise. But yeah,
but
sorry,
it is crazy that Final Fantasy, and specifically Final Fantasy VII, was the one to break this quote-unquote rule that we had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I mean, Sonic's been here since Brawl, right? And not even just that, like, Cloud, specifically, FF content in Smash Brothers was so notorious for being such a pain in the ass for rights. Right? Because, I mean, there's only 2 music tracks in the game, right? I mean, that are straight rips.
Sakurai himself said that he thought Everyone Is Here was not going to happen because Square was not going to let them use Cloud again.
They were the one company that has been the hardest to work with for this game. And so, for them to get another Final Fantasy character in there is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Sakurai fucking walked into Square and put slapped his hand on the desk and said, "Listen, motherfucker, you're gonna give me more."
Look at the sales. You can't say no.
I mean, we got Hero and then we got fucking Sephiroth.
Yeah. I mean, we now have 3 Square Enix characters. The people who make the game still only have 1, which is hilarious.
Sorry, Bamco.
Look, there's just no Bamco characters as big as my guy Sephiroth, you know? They're just...
He's very tall. Quite literally.
I got a question. How come every single Nintendo character, including third party, can't beat what's his name?
Galeem?
Yeah. And then Sephiroth
one shot.
I mean, Sephiroth's power level. Sephiroth's canonical power level is pretty high.
We were talking about this before the podcast. We're like, you know how there's always the Smash canon tier lists, right? Mm-hmm. That now he's joined the crew up top with like Shulk and Bayonetta and Kirby and
Kirby, yeah,
and Palutena. So funny that Kirby's in there, right? It's a bunch of literal gods.
Infinite power.
Infinite power.
Yeah.
Sephiroth is also funny because I feel like since Simon, there's been a character's reach can't get any longer than this. Right? And then we get Byleth, and then we get Min Min. And now we got fucking Sephiroth with this big ass sword.
Very funny.
I think Min Min is probably still the longest, right?
Yeah, but I like to think that this sword is longer than Min Min's entire like.
Her whole thing is she can stretch, but it's still not as big as the sword. Yeah, no, I mean, there are some people I saw that were like, why Sephiroth? I mean, there's always going to be, right? Because people have their thing they want.
Because he's one of the biggest characters in the world. Like, look, even, like, I saw a thing, why not Terra or why not whoever, right? Yes, Final Fantasy is a storied franchise.
Why not Vaughn?
Why not Vaughn? Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, like, number 1 and number 2 in terms of, like, most recognizable Final Fantasy characters are going to be Cloud and Sephiroth. And that's just a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know? And Sephiroth is one of the most iconic video game villains, period. You know?
Yeah, like, I think it's fun to watch different trailers have different like moments where they cue in like for fans, right? Like for Steve it was the sound of the monsters was really it, right? For Sephiroth, it's just the first note of One Winged Angel. People are just like, it's him. We know it's him. I don't even need to see it, right? Like,
I mean, literally, the second, like, the first note of One Winged Angel hit, I was like, fuck out of here. Like, this isn't happening. This is not, because, again, like, it wasn't even, like, I don't even know if, like, I recognized it at that point. My body just reacted. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like,
the song is here. Yeah, so that's cool. Sakurai's gonna go in more detail on the 17th. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Obviously,
we'll have something to say next week about it.
One final
when Gino's
thought.
costume gets in, we'll have something to say.
Oh boy. I mean, the dream is dead, right? At this point. But I do think it's funny though. Just one, Smash. The community has been beleaguered. They've been having a lot of issues with Nintendo recently. I do think it's hilarious though how the pattern of rules is always just determined by what was one thing ago. Moose mentioned this to me, right? Where suddenly now the next character is guaranteed to be Eggman. He's guaranteed. And it's like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? There's right before this, it was Steve is the clear pattern, right? It's going to be Jonesy from Fortnite.
And there were so many people just because Steve got in. Like, Jonesy was just a lock now. It's
He's
like,
a guarantee.
Calm down, everyone. I mean, maybe Jonesy makes it in. I don't know. But, like, there's no rules, man. Smash has no rules.
It's not worth speculating at this point.
There's one rule. There's one rule that we will forever know. It's not even outside of it. Goku will never be in. That is the one character.
Fuck off. He's coming next.
That is the one character that Masahiro Sakurai.
Muzzy, you better bite your tongue because when it happens.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That'll be
but
the
Goku,
last character to be revealed for the season pass, Goku.
So Goku is legitimately funny to me because Masahiro Sakurai will go out of his way without even asking him. He will tell you Goku is not happening.
But we also said that about Villager. Think about it, Muzumel.
Sure, but like he literally accepted an award for Smash Ultimate, and said, and he mentioned how Goku. A lot of people ask him for Goku, and Goku will never be in.
Goku's coming. He's just throwing you off the scent.
He's just throwing us on the scent.
Yeah.
But Smash is stupid. It's fan fiction at this point. It's beautiful.
Wow, you hate Smash now.
I can
Is
love
it because they added another anime sword fighter? Is that why?
Another anime sword fighter. Yeah. I mean, we all have to admit, like, adding Sephiroth is on some level just stupid, right?
I think it's because Sephiroth got used in a lot of GameFAQs banners back in the day. He's definitely is of a certain time and era where it was just there was sort of no thought process to what. It's where you would have the Smash roster of 200 characters, right? Mm-hmm. And Sephiroth would always be there, and I feel like it's just. I
definitely did hear people ask Sephiroth for Smash in the Brawl days.
Yeah,
right. In the Brawl days, Sephiroth was up there, and I don't know why, but he was
even over Cloud. It was Sephiroth, but not Cloud.
Yeah,
Smash.
no.
Yeah.
I would really see Sephiroth a lot. And it's so funny that all these years later, it actually did happen.
What happened?
He's here.
When are we getting Sora? What the fuck?
The fact that he made it before Sora is also just...
Here's the thing though. Uh-huh. We got our Kingdom Hearts character and it wasn't Sora, it was Sephiroth.
It was Sephiroth.
Amen. True.
Well, we had Cloud already.
Yeah, well, we got another one.
So that was Smash. We'll probably have more to talk about next week, right, when Sakurai shows it off. This next up, we're gonna skip around some. We're gonna skip some things. But a big resurrection for a franchise.
That's not skipping anything. That's the next thing.
I know it is, but just be prepared. Be prepared. We're not going to hit all 50 things, right? Look at how much time we took on Smash. Perfect Dark is coming back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah!
That's big for Brandon. Brandon loves Perfect Dark. The Initiative, who is a new studio formed by Microsoft to head up, they said a new franchise. We now know it was this, right?
Very
so Perfect Dark, Brandon. Yeah. Why is this exciting? Why did you go? Yeah.
I love Perfect Dark, but you say new franchise as a joke, and I mean honestly, I mentioned it to a coworker, by the way, and today, and I said, "Did you see new Perfect Dark yesterday?" And he goes, "Perfect Dark."
Yeah. It has been 20 years.
Dark?
I mean, it's almost like, when Nintendo brought back Kid Icarus, right? It was basically like...
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, was a new franchise.
The same amount of time. Pretty much the same amount of time, yeah. Yeah, right. To a lot of people, they don't even know what it is. But, Perfect Dark, Nintendo 64 game, was developed by Rare. And basically, it's a spiritual follow-up to GoldenEye. They took all the things. If you look at even like the health bar and everything, there's a lot of similarities to GoldenEye in that game. In fact, some of the multiplayer maps are in there. So they really just built upon the foundation that they had in GoldenEye and made it much, much better.
It made it an original story.
Yeah, original story, an original IP. It's a better game than GoldenEye. It has better controls. better levels. It's
Better weapons.
better graphics, better weapons. It's great. It's awesome. It's a really cool franchise. Unfortunately, with the sequel Perfect Dark Zero that came out on the 360, was not as good, and it just the first one has a place in a lot of people's hearts, and it was re-released on the 360 on Xbox Arcade. It made it even better. Had dual analog and all that, so you didn't have to play on crappy Nintendo 64 controller. And it was really cool, and I'm just excited. This looks like a reboot, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know if it has anything like
very
has anything to do.
Very high likelihood it's a reboot.
Yeah, which is good. That's what it needs.
You don't need to hold yourself to the constraints of previous games, right?
It has been 20 years. The genre has moved forward, right? Like
yeah,
absolutely. But I don't know. I'm excited about it, especially if they take inspiration from the original game and go from there. I'm very excited to see what this turns out to be.
Yeah, the first game had like a goofiness to it that I think I think serves this franchise well, and I hope they retain that.
There was an alien named Elvis.
Definitely
Elvis.
agree. I hope it's not like super serious, right? I hope.
Yeah.
And I think franchise revivals are always just a fun thing, right? I love when a franchise that's been dormant for so long just out of nowhere comes back. But
when it's done well.
When it's done well, of course. Yeah. You don't, I mean, like, you have your Battletoads, and that's not as great, but,
I heard that game's pretty decent. I haven't played it yet.
But also, like, if I want to directly compare it to Battletoads, how often do we see, like, a franchise revival that also just has, like, budget behind it, right?
Yeah, this is a big project.
I mean, before we knew it was Perfect Dark, The Initiative, which is the studio's name, Microsoft built them from the ground up a couple years back, and there was a lot of hype and speculation surrounding what are they going to do, right? Because they're going to build... Because their whole thing is we're going to build triple... In fact, the job listing said quadruple A games, right? Whatever that means. And so, a lot of people thought, oh, does that mean new IP? Does this mean this or that? And it's kind of crazy that, like, their big new studio... Their first game is bringing Perfect Dark back. Yeah, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like talking about like bringing back like how do you sort of modernize and because like you said, right, like this is a franchise that is fun to just revive, right? And like there's the element of goofiness in the trailer. It was almost entirely through the perspective of like a drone that was flying through this building, right? And I do feel like Perfect Dark, even more than GoldenEye, had a lot of gadgets and gizmos that you could use, right, in levels.
It was really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like you can definitely lean into that as like a element of the game, right? Like to sort of keep that element of it alive, because obviously drones are now just a thing that exists in the real world, right? So like you can get even more ridiculous with stuff, So I think that would be neat.
And it's funny because, like, a lot of the hype around whatever the game was going to be was initially, though, it was like, they're going to make, like, cinematic, like, this is going to be the God of War killer, which, calm down, everyone, right? And, like, they have a lot of talent from Sony Santa Monica and other places, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny, now that we know it's Perfect Dark, it's like, okay, this is not what I was thinking their game was going to be, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think you touch on a funny thing there, right? In general, which is like, I mean, The Last of Us did win a lot of awards, right? That for a while there in the gamer consciousness, there was sort of like, where's Nintendo and Microsoft's Naughty Dog, right? Will Retro make an Uncharted tier game, right, for Nintendo? Will the initiative be whatever, right? And it's like, I feel like it's smart, just don't try to play in that space, like you don't have to. Right, like you don't need to like find an equivalent for that. You can have your own thing,
Find your own identity, Microsoft's first party does not need to be like we need to make Sony-like games, right?
Big
like,
cinematic, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, cinematic games are Sony's domain, right? But
also, I mean, unfortunately, like the Game Awards is like a showcase of only like Sony games, basically, which is fucking weird.
Like Perfect Dark's not gonna win a Game Award,
No.
It just ain't.
I mean, that's super weird, though.
Multiplayer.
Yeah,
could win best multiplayer.
Sure. I mean, it's like Sea of Thieves technically had a very quietly an amazing 2020, right? Like Sea of Thieves maybe sold as many copies as Ghost of Tsushima did, right? While being a 3-year-old game, but that doesn't get discussed because in the same way that like. In movies, certain types of movies just don't get discussed for awards or in the press, right? I think that we're just seeing that hit video games now too, right? There are certain genres and studios that will just get attention more than others.
like with Game Pass, right? Like games like Sea of Thieves and Forza Horizon legit have like 20 million players, right?
Mhm.
Which is more than most Sony games sell, right? You can say, oh, Game Pass doesn't count or whatever, right? But the fact is, a lot of people are playing these games, right? And they're known to be, like, okay, you could say Sea of Thieves reviewed poorly at launch or whatever, right? But even like a game like Forza Horizon, that's one of the best reviewed games of this generation, right? But it doesn't get credit at, like, award shows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No,
And that's, that kind of sucks. It just kind of sucks.
it's almost like, Sony's the big independent film companies that make these, like,
The Oscar bait.
The Oscar bait. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That sweep the Oscars every year. But then, of course, you're going to have movies like The Fast and the Furious that make a ton of money, but obviously nobody's going to say, well, that's the best movie of the year.
Sure.
So,
Unless you're Saf.
Saf
loves the Fast and the Furious.
well, we all love The Fast and the Furious. Take it away, Will.
I wouldn't say
give
that.
you a segue, buddy.
You know what? Why not? Vinny Van, our special boy, Vin Diesel, is alive and well in Arc 2, which is there's an Arc 2 happening, everyone. That was the announcement.
Exclusive to Xbox and PC.
I didn't catch
Is
that.
it?
Arc is a game that is secretly massive. It is secretly huge.
Yes.
And maybe not so secretly for a lot of people, I guess. But and it has found most of its success on PC and Xbox, so I guess it makes sense for them to do this partnership with Xbox for 2.
It's on Game Pass.
Very funny at first. They had a shot of it, and I was like, Arc in this trailer had big Horizon vibes, right?
But I was trying to figure out what it is. I'm like, is this going to end up being Horizon Forbidden West and like Vin Diesel's in it or some shit? What is going on?
Yeah. But pretty weird. There was a pretty long trailer, right? So, but not a lot of gameplay, obviously, right? The mostly announcing this exists and Vin Diesel's here.
Yeah.
And then right after they announced Arc, the animated series, is also coming out and has a ton of voice actors, actually. Has a ton of big name Hollywood actors, I should say, that are going to be in it. So they clearly want to make this franchise that's already big even bigger, right?
I know Arc is big, and that means it makes a lot of money. But, like, it's so weird for me to see Arc, like, there's so much money being put into these projects. Like, this is so weird, you know? Like, I think of Arc as this jank, stupid, like, garbage.
It sort of has the same place in my brain as, like, Roblox, right?
Yeah.
Of just, like, big and popular, but, like, not polished, right? And sort of...
I swear to God, Arc 1 is still on game preview on the Xbox. I'm like, how the fuck are they making Arc 2 if Arc 1 ain't even done?
It's not even done. I mean, is this more story-focused than you one? Like, what...
I don't know. I mean, who knows if it's just Vin Diesel in your ear for the game? Like,
Yeah.
baby. But, who knows?
A perfect game.
Sure, why
The
not?
Past
Why
and the
not?
Furious.
Moose did have an interesting question when we were watching it. Do you think Vin in Arc 2 is a result of Keanu and Cyberpunk? Do you think that this will be a trend?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, come on. We had Wheelman with Vin Diesel.
We did.
This has
Vin
already
Diesel does
been
have a long
trend,
history with
brother.
video games. It should be said.
Yes, exactly. It's already been a trend.
But I am curious, though, if they'll start to be... I mean, I guess Call of Duty's already done stunt casting with Hollywood actors for years. But anyways. Then in terms of other things that are... Perfect Dark was just resurrected, right? These are spiritual successors. We have Back 4 Blood, with the number 4. If that's not a hint, this is from Turtle Rock Studios, the creators of Left 4 Dead 1 in particular, and also Evolve this generation. But they're going Back 4 Blood because this game is Left 4 Dead ass Left 4 Dead. That's what you're getting with this video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the name is so cheeky. Back 4 Blood. Like, get out of here.
Couldn't help themselves.
Couldn't help themselves.
They love the number 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
They have to know, you know.
it's, I think it's fine that this exists because Valve clearly has no interest in making
Left 4 Dead 3?
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Even though, like, man, Left 4 Dead 3 was so long rumored for so long.
Yeah.
Like, it was gonna be, like, the first game for Source 2, but also then Source 2 took forever, and then, of course, everything with Valve. They don't make games.
They don't make number 3s.
They don't make number 3s. It's just the Valve curse. But Back 4 Blood, why not, right? It looks... Evolve was not what people wanted. right? Just straight up.
Mm-hmm.
It got a lot of hype before it came out, but it just ended up being kind of meh.
Yeah.
This is back to basics, and that's cool.
Yeah. There is going to be a preview going on, and I think it was mid 2021. I forget the exact date. So for people that you can apply to get in. I know Noah did. So seems when they said this is pre-alpha, I thought, oh, they'll have nothing, and then they had like a whole level, and you're like, well, okay, I guess that's all right. So that was there. Another spiritual successor, the Callisto Protocol, is from one of the two head developers for Dead Space. Is working on a game that is set in space where there appears to be some creepy monsters. Better watch out, buddy. You got a little health thing on the back of your neck rather than your spine, right? Another one that sort of is not ashamed of where it's taking its inspiration from.
Yeah.
Like health. But I love that, man. I love that. That's exciting to me. Because, Dead Space, again, just like Left 4 Dead with Valve, the owners of the IP, they're not going to fucking do anything with it.
Yeah.
And the people who are behind it are saying, fuck it, let's make our own. And I love that. I've been wanting a new Dead Space game. I love Dead Space. Mm-hmm. Give it to me. I'm excited about this.
Sure, yeah.
It's a game that shouldn't have gone to Dead Space 3.
Well, yeah, Dead Space 3 should have been a thing. It's just they went in the really wrong direction with it.
Yeah, that was the era where everything had to have co-op.
Yeah, exactly.
And microtransactions.
Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot about microtransactions. Shit, I bought this game.
That's fine. You'll be fine.
Sav literally just bought this game.
I just bought that game out of excitement.
You can beat it without the microtransactions.
You just bought Dead Space 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was on sale for like £5, so I was like, okay, I'll buy it.
Don't let Trey bully you.
I heard the co-op was very interesting, how they implemented the horror in there. So I wanted to see how it plays out.
Interesting from who? By all accounts, Dead Space 3 sucks.
Interesting? Things could be interesting and bad.
I guess. In the same way Resident Evil 6 is interesting.
Yeah, and you beat that game.
And I definitely played that with Trey.
Yeah.
So then Dragon Age is we were supposed to see it. We did see it.
We saw something.
Sure, we saw something.
We did see something. So I guess the differences from previous games appears to be the things that stick out in my brain. They're sort of like making it a mix of fantasy and modern like aesthetic mixed with magic, right? Like there's a shot of like a seedy street in a city, right? And like it's clearly neon signs, but the neon signs are like magic-y, right? Like there's stuff from the art direction that is interesting, but I think we can talk about this with the next BioWare related announcement, which is Mass Effect will continue.
Wow.
But both of these are franchises that like they're gonna have to work back confidence in. Like there is sort of there is still a place in a lot of people's hearts for, I think, especially Mass Effect, right? Even though Andromeda and even 3 to a lesser extent both were disappointments for people, but like you gotta prove yourself at this point, right? Like you can't be given the benefit of the doubt.
Not even like Andromeda and Inquisition, but also like Anthem, right?
Yeah.
BioWare has not been good for a long time.
I don't know. Andromeda I kind of like more than Mass Effect 3. So I wouldn't hold that too much against them, but yeah.
Sure,
your
but
point
like,
still stands.
Yeah. But like, I think it's fair to say though that both Andromeda and 3 and Anthem and Inquisition and
they were disappointments.
These games were all games that were disappointments, and it's like BioWare and just EA as a whole, right? It's so hard to get excited for something that EA is publishing, right? Because they just let you down all the time, right? And at least we got Dragon Age and Mass Effect trailers that were not just, hey, I'm the developer. Yeah, you want to see me make the game on this wireframe and this? You want to see some concept art? And you're like, I don't care about any of that garbage. So at least they're not doing that this time.
So they didn't waste your time. That's the highlight.
Yeah, the highlight is that
there's at least some impression.
This is above EA's normal level of reveals.
We talked about Skate 4 last week, right? And this is better than that.
Yeah. So like, sure, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age are coming back, but I also like I'm trying to like. I mean, I don't know how game development works, right? But like, supposedly, I am led to believe that BioWare is concurrently making a new Dragon Age game, a new Mass Effect game, and rebooting Anthem, right? Do they have the manpower to do all of that?
And didn't they work on Anthem for like 7 years? So.
Yeah, long time. That was that's the funniest Mass 3
thing about the last 3 BioWare games is Dragon Age Inquisition comes out and it's like, it's a 7, right? It's not bad, right? I think a lot of people dislike it because it got the game of the year while being a 7, right? But people are like, that was the B team for BioWare. Their next game's gonna have the A team, right? And then Andromeda comes out and they're like, that was actually the B team again. The A team's working on Anthem. And then Anthem comes out and it's maybe the worst of those 3, right? So it's sort of like,
who is the A team?
We don't know.
There is no A team.
And also they've been hemorrhaging talent, right? So like I said, like they're working from under on this, right? I would love for these to be great. I have a lot of affection for Mass Effect 2 in particular, right? A lot of people do.
Mass Effect 2 is great.
But it's hard. Like when it said Mass Effect will continue, we were in call and we booed. We were like, come on, like you can't just do this to us. Like,
yeah, it was just a nothing trailer, even less than usual. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like on par with the Dragon Quest. I mean, the Dragon Age shit we got last time.
Last year's Dragon Age trailer.
Yeah,
where it was just like a cave painting on a wall.
Yeah,
it was like the something about the wolf.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, I mean, they clearly just want us to tell you, look, we're not dead, right?
Yeah.
And we're making games that you want, right? And I guess, sure, there's value in that. But also, like, man, I don't know which of these 2 games will come out first. I don't know how long but I also think, like, 3 years minimum for either one of these, right?
Yeah.
Like,
probably. We're
not going to see massive... I'm more pessimistic on Mass Effect. Yes. I don't know when we're going to see Mass Effect come out, Yeah,
I know. I would not expect it till 2024 at the earliest at this point, to be honest.
Big Metroid Prime 4 vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a thing, everybody.
One day. So we'll see, like you said, in 3 to 4 years when we have further impressions from these games. Maybe they'll prove us wrong. I hope so. Crimson Desert was the thing that had a 6-minute trailer, is from the Black Desert people, and I just think that was a game. It's hilarious because it was a game that feels like it has everything. It just kept going. But then
it was such a long trailer. I also like it was so funny. That trailer was so funny. And I saw this with a lot of different people go through these emotions of, this is so boring actually this kind of looks neat. Also, this looks garbage, but there's something there.
like there's good ideas here, but the performance looks like bad, I
mean, it's funny because they're honest about it, right? Like, it just, like, that game runs like shit in that trailer, right? Yeah. Like, there was one specific moment where I just burst out laughing because it was just, like, all these effects were going off, and then you could see, literally, I think the frame rate was, like, 5 frames per second, maybe. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it also doesn't even look like an MMO. Like, strangely
enough. Yeah, it doesn't look like an MMO at all. Like, and usually the way MMOs trick us is they're doing a CG trailer, right?
Yeah.
But, like, this is gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm very confused about this game.
Yeah.
They list on the website that it's a PS4 and Xbox One game. I don't believe that for a damn second.
No, it might, in the same way that Cyberpunk is a PS4 and Xbox One game.
Sure.
Which is to say it's not.
That I would be surprised if this game runs well on the PS5,
and it's coming out fairly soon, right? Like summer, they said, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about
right. No, I think it was winter 2021. I think
oh, yeah, winter.
Yeah, so
does winter mean like February?
It might. I mean, much like we learned, speaking of Smash, seasons are pliable. You can play with seasons a lot in terms of when you're
because winter 2021 could be February or it could be December.
Yeah,
who's to say?
So we'll see. That was just a weird one. That was a new announcement too. I don't know if it was. I think it was a new announcement. Anyways,
why do they love deserts so much?
It was new to us.
There was a definitely new game, even though we knew it existed. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. We
Man.
thought, how will they modernize? How will they change Ghosts and Goblins? The answer is they won't. This thing is
Just-
Ghosts and Goblins. That's what it is.
It's a remake, seemingly, right?
Well, they
Like,
say it's an all-new adventure in the press release.
I mean, it
Okay,
looks like,
but-
from the bosses I've seen, I don't think I remember those bosses.
Yeah,
then
but it
maybe
looks
is a
close
new
enough
game,
that you
but
could confuse it as
It's
for a remake.
so heavily in the style of the first game, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even down to, like, because, like, it was funny. I didn't sit on the podcast when we talked about Ghosts and Goblins, but my brain went to, when we heard about this, was, oh, I'm looking forward to playing Ghosts and Goblins game where, like, Arthur doesn't move so weirdly slowly that like, he does in the originals. But, like, they kept that as an artistic decision now, which is, I guess...
I mean, I guess that's part of the difficulty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
like it's very much like old Castlevania games too, right? Where sort of like the fact you don't feel fully in control is, I guess.
Oh, okay,
is
but let's not. No. But Castlevania, like, it is like masterfully designed, right?
No, I'm not
Let's
saying that. I'm saying like you can see the idea of like in a horror game you don't want to sort of fully in control, right? That kind of idea.
I guess
but-
like this is Ghosts and Goblins' identity, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Firebrand is there.
The art style is like clearly very divisive. I keep going back and forth on it. My initial reaction when I saw that, I was like, ugh.
I need to see it in game. I need to see it myself, like when it's done, because right now I'm not very high on it.
Enthused.
They're going for like, I mean, it literally like shows on a scroll. It's supposed to look sort of like it's like a 2D like picture book almost, right?
Yeah. I mean, it almost has like it's almost like hand-drawn style, right?
Well, I wonder if it's a 3D 2D. If these are secretly 3D models that they have style in the way of 2D. Because we know it's on this is supposed to still be on the RE engine, right?
It's on the man. The RE engine, very versatile.
Yeah, you would not. I would not have guessed.
Like it can make games that look like Resident Evil 8, or Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
Or it can make games that look like Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection.
Yeah. I guess one thing of note, they specifically like
soon.
the first thing you see actually in the game almost is Arthur hits a checkpoint. So I guess that will be something. That will be a modern.
It will be easier.
It will be easier. They still want it to be hard, but I don't think
It
they want
also
to be
seems
super
like
hard.
he lost only like part of his chest piece at one point, so maybe he takes 2 hits from damage now.
Yeah.
Because when he has the basic armor in the original or in the Super Nintendo game at least,
Yeah.
he loses all the armor.
Yeah.
So, you'll have more health to work with in this one. It's $30. Do you guys think that's a fair price for this kind of deal, or?
Yes.
I guess.
I think it's just at the up ceiling though.
Yeah.
Right.
If it was like 15, I feel like it was 20. That's sort of like the sweet spot, right?
20 is the sweet spot.
I mean, like, Konami had the audacity to price, like, Contra Rogue Core at 40. Or was it 50 actually? It was.
I feel like it was 50.
Yeah, it was ludicrous, right? And so this is definitely acceptable. But you're right; it's in like the upper range of acceptable, right?
Mhm.
And also Capcom games go on sale often enough that like maybe like as soon as it hits like the first sale where it's like $5 off, I'll probably pick it up,
Sure.
right? And maybe not. It doesn't need to necessarily be like I gotta be there day one.
No,
But,
you're
but
fine.
I am certain I will pick it up at some point next year.
Sure.
Because why not? It's a Ghosts and Goblins game. I'll try it. I'm not like
And then they had Capcom Arcade Stadium afterwards, which
Yeah.
they had a lot of games slide by. A lot of them already in current collections on Switch. So if I were to take a guess, do you remember on the 360 there was like the Xbox Arcade where like you would like literally like put in coins like quarters, right?
I was just thinking about this though.
Well, so we know how it works actually.
So we do know how it works. Okay.
I thought this would be hilarious because in the age of microtransactions, you actually could do this where it'd be like you literally pay a quarter to continue.
Yeah.
Right. But no, it's not like that. You buy essentially like they'll be selling like packs of games.
Okay.
And you can buy like different packs. They all come with like a different collection, and then you just keep them after you buy them, right?
It seems the one free game is 1943, right? The shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
And then the rest
Like,
of them
sure.
are all you pay for.
I mean, in that case, it's neat. If it was like an actual arcade, that would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Hilariously
That would
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would laugh. It would make me laugh. But you know,
It's
that's
funny if
not
that
the
was
case.
an option at least.
That is not the case. You just buy the games essentially.
You can buy Street Fighter 2 for like the 19th time.
Yeah, why
Okay.
not?
I do think
Why not? Retro games. Capcom, if nothing else, they are good at making sure you can play their legacy content.
Yeah.
You know, they will always be there to re-release their old games. They'll find a way.
I'm curious if these will have online play, because I feel like that'll be a big determining factor in whether or not, right? Because arcade games you
sure.
sort of want to play with other people a lot of the times, you know.
Yeah.
And some of these games, like Captain Commando and other ones, have online play through like the beat 'em up bundle, right? So I would hope so.
Yeah.
It's kind of
we
weird
played
that
it.
both of these things, Ghosts and Goblins and this arcade thing, are Switch exclusive.
Yeah, well, I mean, this if you doubted the leaks from Capcom, these confirm them, right? This is
For sure, and that means they're. I know. Well, was the arcade thing in the leak?
It was because there was an arcade thing, yeah.
Oh, okay. So is that coming later as well?
They're both February. They're both February.
Yeah, but so Ghosts and Goblins we know is coming from the leak. We know it's going to come to other platforms 3 months later.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know about specifically arcades.
So I wonder. But I guess it makes sense, right? Like this is the kind of games that Switch owners are very attuned to.
Yeah.
They love retro games. You know,
Sure.
Switch owners love retro games.
They dared us to buy Ultra Street Fighter 2 when the Switch launched, and we were fools and bought it.
And it
so
sold
now,
over 500,000 copies.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
So there's that. In addition, there were other at the Game Awards. There was, hey, this is fun. If you want to play Overcooked All You Can Eat, which is sort of like I think it's a 1+2 package. You can get the Swedish Chef from the Muppets. Bork Bork. That's fun.
Why not?
That's cool.
The Jeff
It kind of sucks that it's only for the that combo pack because
yeah.
I have both games. I'm not going to buy that thing because I already have both games. But whatever.
Yeah. Besides that, there was Joseph Fares's game. Keeping that co-op thing going. He loves it. He heavily associated with the Game Awards, Joseph Fares, after he gave the middle finger to the Oscars. It Takes Two, which he was saying he was doing motion capture for, but that game looked there was a lot in that trailer.
Lots going on.
You were playing as
going
a
on.
man and a woman whose marriage is apparently on the rocks, and there's a book of love that's making you go on this adventure to sort of find that spark again.
Muzzy, you said earlier in the podcast that EA doesn't do anything that makes you get excited for any of their games. Well, there's an EA game that I'm excited about.
There we go.
We found-
I mean, it looks good. It legitimately looks good. I'm interested in the game.
Ton of variety that they showed off in that
Looks
trailer.
awesome. I am pumped for this game. This looks great. Remember when they first revealed this at that other stupid EA thing? And we got nothing but just like some concept art.
We basically just got
I forgot that they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they do it for everything. Now they even do it
they
for the
do,
indie
yeah.
games.
But I said when we talked about it on the podcast, I said, look, we know nothing about this game, but I can tell you already that I'm excited about it because I love Brothers and I love A Way Out. So,
Sure.
and holy shit, this probably to me already, just looking at this, I think this might be my favorite game of his already.
Yeah.
This looks really cool. I mean, I'm excited to play it.
So
It's got the same thing A Way Out has, by the way. It's $40.
Yeah.
But you can send a copy to your friend to play because it is a co-op only game, just like A Way Out is. You have to play it in co-op, so you basically buy it and you send it a free copy to somebody else to play it with.
Which version when?
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Then there's all that. There is, I guess, there was a trailer for the League of Legends RPG, right? We talked about 2 years ago about how they're making League be everything now. They're doing a ton of different things in that universe, which is Ruined King, a League of Legends story. Moose, you got into League this year.
I did.
Did this excite your brain?
It looks good. I mean, it looks like an RPG with League characters. Sure. Why not? It's made by the Battle Chasers Night War people, which I have not played, but I've heard many, many good things about. It's a turn-based. It's just like it's a turn-based RPG, right? And like the adventure is more isometric view. but I don't know. I'm excited for this game. You know, it cool looking art style. I think. My main character's in there. You know, so what can I complain about?
You picked the face of the franchise. You dumb.
I did, but you know.
So that was sort of the things I had. Is there other things that stuck out from your brain from the Game Awards?
Yes.
Okay.
Fist. Fist looks fucking cool as fuck.
You're playing as a little rabbit with a big arm.
Dude, that game looks awesome.
Man, I don't remember that happening.
You were omega distracted during that, if I recall.
It was that I just randomly glanced down at my phone during that, and I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck am I watching?" I had to look up the trailer after because I was like, "This looks really cool." It's a side scroller,
yeah,
but I don't know. The combat looks like wild,
mm-hmm.
and just looks like a really fun to move around. Almost like a way he was jumping was kind of Sonic the Hedgehog like.
Yeah, he does a little spin. There's a grapple that's a little bionic commando-y, right? Because he has the big robo arm, but it can stretch out and pull in places, right? Yeah.
This look really cool. I'm interested in this game.
Monster Hunter Rise's second trailer happened. It's getting a demo in January, free demo, limited time. But it looks even better than it did when it first showcased, and it already looked really good. So I'm really excited for this game.
Same.
I'm personally excited for Disco Elysium, as well as cautiously excited for something dumb like Evil West.
Yeah, so Disco Elysium is interesting because it's coming to PlayStation first. But so it's getting an extended version though, right? So it's already been out on PC forever.
Yeah.
But it's getting an extended version, but now it's coming to consoles. PlayStation is getting it both 4 and 5, like in March, I think, and then in summer, Switch and Xbox are getting it.
Yeah.
I bought it on PC. I haven't played it yet. When it comes to Switch, I might actually both buy it and actually play through it. So
yeah, same.
It looks like a like I've played some isometric like RPGs like Shadowrun before, and it looks as fun as interesting as that game. So
I mean, people have really good things to say about the writing of the game, and it won a lot of awards, right? So yeah, I'm totally down to play it when it comes to Switch.
Yeah, I guess also relevant on that same thing of expanded versions, Sea of Solitude, which was another EA indie game, is also getting. It seems like there's straight up like it's like a 1.5 version.
Like
that's also
New
coming.
Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I thought about playing that recently because it's on EA. EA Play.
Yeah.
Access,
And
the Play,
so because of that, I have it on Game Pass, and I was like, I was like, I remember seeing this at E3 last year or some shit, and looks kind of cool. So
no, this version is exclusive to Switch for a while, so it probably won't be on EA Play for a bit, but it will get there.
He's not even publishing it on Switch. Quantic Dream is who made like Heavy Rain,
Detroit,
Detroit. Which first of all, I didn't know that they were getting into publishing.
Yeah, that's super weird to me. Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Any other Game Awards notes?
Returnal looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's coming in March. We know the next PlayStation game. Sony first party game, I guess. Right?
Yeah, from Housemark.
It's $70 though.
That's rough.
It
reminds me a lot of one of their other games.
Wait 6 months.
Next Machina. It reminds me.
Yeah, it does look very similar to Next Machina,
but also kind of like Remnant from the Ashes, like those two games combined.
Sure.
I've been meaning to play Next Machina forever.
Yeah, I played it recently, or like last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it reminds me a lot of those two games.
Yeah.
Game Pass got a sizzle reel of stuff, and Killer Queen Black is coming out, which is cool. That's exciting. Among Us coming to PC Game Pass, which is pretty cool. And then Will, I'm sure you got excited about that one at least. Yakuza 3, 4, 5, and 6 all coming to Game Pass.
We now have all of them. Except all we're missing is 7. But you can play the entirety of Kazuma Kiryu's story. You don't ignore the zombie one. We don't need that one.
Every Yakuza game is on Xbox now, and you can play 0 through 6 on Game Pass.
It's gonna be on PC Game Pass too, which is crazy. Man, 7 Yakuza games on Game Pass. And it's funny, I didn't think 3, 4, and 5 would ever come to other platforms because, like, the Kiwami games, those are remakes, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously 0, 6, and 7 are new games, right?
Yeah.
But 3, 4, and 5 were just basically remasters of the PS3 versions. So I really didn't think that they would come over. But
And
here they are. They're coming in next month, January.
5 in particular, Sony helped pay for the translation for because it was originally not going to come to the West. So,
which is why I was really surprised that it was able to come to other platforms.
Yeah, that's been such a weird turn this generation because Yakuza weirdly became the thing I would like always count on it being at PSX every year, right? Because 5 got announced at PSX and then 0 got trailer, stuff like that, right? It was very exciting, and now sort of Microsoft is just coming and be like, no, this is ours now, actually. Actually, we're the Yakuza people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll still sell like 90% of its copies on PlayStation.
Correct. Yeah.
But they're trying, they're trying.
We talked last week about are they trying, and they're trying.
They're funding them, that's cool. That's nice. Good to see. Also, they found a way to make Skyrim an announcement again.
It's on the game. It's coming to the Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
There was something else that was coming on Game Pass that I thought was neat, but I forget. Anyways, that is the Game Awards. There was a lot to it, Last year there was that one big thing of the Series X, and then I think everything else sort of was, it was tepid. There was just a lot from a lot of different angles for this go around, which I feel like it's partially the result of E3 not being there, right? Yeah. Some of these games would have been.
I mean, to be fair, I do think like Sephiroth and Perfect Dark were kind of the only like big things there. I wouldn't characterize the rest of it as tepid, unlike last year. I guess is the difference, right? But yeah, as far as big things, I still think Sephiroth and Perfect Dark were kind of like the only like.
Well, Mass Effect's a big thing okay,
that's fair. That is actually fair. Like, Mass Effect objectively, but we've said our piece on Mass Effect.
Yeah. We have our thoughts, and then stuff like Fall Guys Season 3 got shown off, Rocket League Season 2 got shown off, Among Us, new map, new Among Us map. So games that people are also currently playing, and Fall Guys also got stuff shown off.
Master Chiefs and Fortnite.
Very
literally playing that game as soon as
ruthless day.
You are
dead game.
Master Chiefs and Fortnite.
He is, yeah. So now Kratos and Master Chief are in the same game. Smash BTFO'd for being the biggest crossover in video games.
I've seen some good pictures. They're already high-fiving each other and eating pizza and stuff.
Oh, how special.
Wild.
Two friends. So that is that. That is the Game Awards. I would say, the people complain a lot about whether or not the awards are given it more or less time than they deserve, right? But I think we can all agree that those awards are all pale in comparison to the list.
The
list.
Follow along in the paste bin below as every week we add a game to an ever-growing list of 231 currently. It will be 232 by the end of this podcast, right? There's all manner of game. Good, bad, ugly, a lot of mediocre in this list, but we will compare apples to oranges and figure out where each game definitively goes. It is the only place that makes sense in a ranking anywhere on the internet until we change our minds on a re-rank. So last week I brought Banjo-Kazooie. It got to 74 on the list. Contentious. A lot of yelling. You can go back and listen if you enjoy that.
That was really last week?
It was only a week ago.
Oh my god, it seems like forever ago. Holy fuck.
Time is weird. But speaking of forever ago, Sav, it's been forever ago since you've added a game.
Oh.
And now you will do it again.
Yep. Yes, indeed. This month is a special month because this month a sequel is going to be released to one of the earliest, most popular, one of the earliest indie games to make indie games be a thing.
Oh.
And so as a result, I'm adding Super Meat Boy to the list.
Yeah, I guess that did get announced at the Game Awards, huh? Super Meat Boy Forever.
Indeed it did.
I didn't want to talk about it.
Actually,
did not want to talk about
it. That's why
it's ruined my fantasy.
Will, I didn't want to mention it, but now I have the opportunity to mention it. So I am currently 1 point behind in our Fantasy Critic League that we're doing.
Ooh.
And I thought I lost. I thought it was over. All my games are out. All of Will's games are out. It's done. Right? Super Meat Boy Forever has saved me. Will counterpicked it. I just need it to hit a 71 on OpenCritic, and I'm good. I win. That's all I need. 71. So
Don't worry, Super Meat Boy Forever will be doggy doo-doo and get a 50. But you know what did not, and should not, Super Meat Boy. So, Saf, tell us why.
Because it was it was a platformer that chose to be challenging, and it was quite fun as a result of being challenging. It really put it really put in effort in making precision platforming a thing. And it was one of the first, as I said before, it was one of the first indie games to be making the indie scene big, especially on Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah.
And it's one of those weird ones where it was, what the fuck was his name? Team Meat? It was
Team Meat, yeah. Edmund McMillan and someone else. They have fallen on bad terms since. So now Team Meat is just one of the guys. But
yeah,
but for this game they made it.
Yeah, originally supposed to be for like WiiWare and PC. I don't know if it was on Nintendo Wii, but I think it's still on.
No, there was a whole thing. Nintendo it was too violent for Nintendo or something. Or no, that was Isaac.
Okay.
No, it was Meat Boy. It was the file size was too big or something. I don't know. Anyway, it never ended up
early
on
days
Wii.
of the Wii.
It never ended up. It never ended up coming out in the Wii.
But it did come out to 360, and then later PS4, and then later everything. It's on Switch now, I think. So you know.
I think it is. Summer Arcade was a big. That's how Microsoft sort of pushed. Right, each week there was a big indie game they would push for the summer, because that was normally when there weren't games coming out back then. And that was I think a very clever idea, and it's sort of Indie Game the movie. I don't know if you remember it, came out years ago. Sort of the understanding was if you made it on the Summer of Arcade, you were guaranteed to be a millionaire, right? Yeah. And I think that did a ton for independent games, right? And Super Meat Boy is, I think, besides Braid, the most emblematic of that. And
Summer of Arcade was great, by the way. It was really awesome.
But I don't think it would have done that if those games were bad, right? You know, if it was like, oh, they're mediocre, right? Then like, oh, who cares? But no, Super Meat Boy is a super solid platformer.
Real tight.
This game had like a ridiculous number of levels as well. Like, sorry for interrupting, was it? It had a ridiculous number of levels as well. Like, I don't know how many it was in total, but it was just insane the amount of content it had. And it was just equally challenging, and just, again, it just relied on super precision jumping and being able to play it again and again. And there was no, the best thing about it was, like, there was no, like, game over or live systems. Like, as soon as you die, you just kind of start over again. And you get to see the pathing.
Yeah.
You get, and it continues. And you get to see the pathing of your last jumps and where you fucked up and where you died, which is pretty cool.
I mean, it's funny, like, Super Meat Boy, if you just changed one thing about it, like that it had lives, it would be so much of a worse game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like someone, there's sometimes threads of like, change one thing about a game and ruin it, right? And Meat Boy, I think, like you said, is number one for that. Or just like, if you add a second of loading, right? Just even a second would ruin that game, right? Like, it has to be like...
that you just, as soon as you die, you can just pick right back up where you left off, right? Like, it's not where you left off, but
absolutely.
It's really addictive, right? You just keep... there's that mentality that really goes throughout the game of like, I just gotta give it one more try. Just one more try, right? And you keep doing that over and over and over again. Really fun gameplay loop. It's a really fun... It controls well. The level design is good. It's a good game. And the soundtrack in the original version is very good.
Because that was part of the thing, was the composer also had splits from the team.
Yeah, so the modern versions of Meat Boy, the soundtrack is just not as good. It's like, it's fine, but the original game had legitimately like a great soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing that happened.
I think Meat Boy is very funny because it's also very much a product of its time, right? Like, you can see the parts where it draws from, because Emmett McMillan had made a bunch of Flash games before this, right? And Flash games, because they had to be small, like, you had to make levels tiny. You had to, right? So that's the thing about Meat Boy, is like, none of the levels are overly long, so that means that when you die, it's not that punishing, right? You don't have to be perfect for a full 3 minutes. You just have to be perfect for 30 seconds, right? And in the same way, like, what was big at the time on like YouTube and the gaming scene circles was like Kaizo Mario, right? It was like stupid hard platforming challenges, right? And sort of, they said like, we took from this, we took from that, we took from this, but we just tried to make it good, right? We tried to do like have time to polish and make this be a more fully featured game. And I think that, it is extremely a 2008, I think is when it came out, video game. But I think that it's the best parts of that year, in a lot of ways. So
yeah,
very cool video game.
I mean, I think Super Meat Boy, took all these inspirations and tried to make them into one really good game. And because of that, I think Super Meat Boy has also inspired other games. I think you look at Celeste, I feel like there's some Super Meat Boy inspiration, right?
Sure.
In Celeste.
Yeah. Very much so.
And yeah, and it went on to inspire other platformers that are good. I think it almost started its own type of genre of platforming, which is really cool.
Sure. I totally agree.
Saf, where do you want it?
Yeah.
I want to put it. I want to put it at 85.
85. So that would be right below Silent Hill 2, but above Super Mario 3D Land.
See, I would put it right below 3D Land.
I was looking in the 60s. I was looking right above or below Impossible Air.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sure. I'll put it above Impossible Air.
I want to put it above. I think Mario Maker's where I would stop. But I think below. I think I'd be fine with literally anything below that.
It's better than the original Super Mario Brothers.
Now I strongly feel Captain Toad should be above it.
I'd be I thought about Captain Toad. I think I'd be fine with putting Captain Toad because there is some BS in Super Meat Boy that I think does ride the line of challenging to annoying. Right?
Yeah.
It does fall into those Kaizo tricks a little bit.
Yeah, to be fair, because I don't want to rag on it too much, right? But I think if Meat Boy came out today, I wouldn't really flinch an eye at it, right? It's still really good. Right? It's still a very well designed game. Still, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think in today's landscape, it's not really a standout game,
I don't know what that means.
If I played it today, I would not feel like it's this game changing game that I did when I played.
Yeah, it doesn't feel revolutionary.
Well, because the games that have changed are already out.
I don't agree.
Yeah. That's just. That whole goes. I feel so that's a rabbit hole into the whole legacy arc.
No, but this is
then Celeste.
No, but to me,
this
is the opposite of legacy, right? Where it's if I'm just judging it on the merits of today, right? And I'm just talking about I played the game and I'm not thinking about when it came out or anything like that. Then I don't know. I think the game is fine. I don't think it's anything special. I really don't.
I played this game very recently, last year, just Next Machina. I think in the same week as Next Machina, actually. And I think it's very good. I agree with Will's.
Yeah, it's very good, which is why I'm fine with where it is. Yeah, I just don't think.
I wouldn't be mad if it moved up to Hotline Miami territory.
Yeah,
see, that's where
it's still the same quality. To me,
I still agree with Ills. I think this game. I don't get what you I just don't agree with you that it would playing it today it wouldn't hold up or whatever because I'm
not saying it wouldn't hold up. I'm saying it's just fine. I think
it's just not that notable.
The part we're talking about with the summer arcade stuff is a time and place, but I think that even removed from that, I think it's fine ending up. I think, I said, if we get past, if you all are fine with moving it past Mario Maker, if there's 3 people that want to do that, I'd be fine with right below Hotline Miami. I do think Hotline Miami is better. Hard on that one.
Well, do we have 3 people for Saf? Where are you feeling?
Well, that's what Saf is the question.
I was okay. I was settling for fucking 80s, but now you're just jumping up to close to fucking
to the 50s, yeah.
The 60s. You know what? Yeah, let's put it above Mario Maker. I'm good with that because I just remembered that it has its own fucking level creator as well, which was.
No one wanted to abuse that level creator, Saf. Get out of here.
I do. One YouTuber I follow got his start doing Meat Boy levels, which I thought was very, very funny origin story.
Come on, put it below Captain Toad, you cowards.
If there's,
let's put it above Mario Maker. Let's do it.
Captain Toad can't even jump, man.
So makes.
I have a real soft spot for Valkyria Chronicles.
Damn.
All right, so where are we putting it? It's getting above Mario Maker, but how above?
I said below Hotline Miami. That's my
I would
thing.
put it below Valkyria.
I put it below Gears of War.
I want it above Valkyria. now you feel your pet games.
I feel fine.
I don't like this precedent.
All right, above Valkyria Chronicles. Let's go.
Saf, how are you feeling?
I put it below Valkyria Chronicles.
Nah, I put it above. We got. How many we got for above?
Nah.
I'm above.
You have 2 for above.
3. That's 3. Meals and bread.
Wait, no, but you wanted below Gears, Brandon.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, if we're doing this, we're doing that.
We're settled. Above Valkyria Chronicles.
This is ridiculous.
Above Valkyria Chronicles. Let's go. Finish the.
Even if this benefits me, this is ridiculous.
Take a principal stand and put it below Valkyria.
No,
but then I don't want to go against what I actually feel. Like
I
that's
know.
weird.
The problem is you're dealing with bad faith actors.
No, I mean I like Meat Boy more than.
here.
Moose is 1 in 45 in the courts right now, so he's just trying to do whatever he can.
But here, Muzzy's wildin'. But when I said below Gears, I think it should go above Valkyria, but I would move Gears up. So
yeah, I mean,
that's
why when I got past Mario Maker, I skipped 6 games, so I understand that.
yeah.
That's just
So
Moose. Like with many things in life, Moose is the problem.
Yeah.
But
Very
well.
well.
I mean, it's one spot. That's fine. Super Meat Boy. There it is on the list. At number 60, nice 6-0. Surrounding it at 58, We Love Katamari. 59, Hotline Miami. 60, Super Meat Boy. 61, Valkyria Chronicles. And 62, Gears of War. There it is. That is the list. That is the podcast. Lot in this one. Packed full. Could not think of the word there. Packed full. Who wants to do the plugs? Who wants to do the final phrase?
I will do the final phrase. I haven't done it in a long time.
All right. I'm doing the plugs.
What a sacrifice for you.
It is a sacrifice. I have something to say at the end of the podcast, every podcast.
That scares me. That frightens me.
Wow. You know what else frightens you?
What?
Sometimes your plug can be scary. You know? But not this guy. I'm your plug, and I'm your friendly plug, by the way. And if you enjoyed the Jump Up Supercast, make sure you check us out on your favorite podcast listening service of your choice, including SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, where new episodes of the Jump Up Supercast go up every single Monday. And we also have another show called the Jump Up Supercast Game Club, and that goes up every other Thursday, hosted by yours truly, where we play different games every time. The next episode that is coming out is going to be about Fallout 1, the original nuclear post-apocalyptic, holy fuck, RPG. Old school. We're kicking it old school with that one. I just want to say something. That game came out in 1997 and has way better voice acting than Deep Fear, which came out in 1998. So get fucked, that game. That's another Game Club game that we play. And we recently played Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, so that episode is out now. Check it out if you're interested in that game at all. Just came out, baby. Who doesn't want to hear about that? Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. Feel free to let us know what you thought should have won Game of the Year on the. I think I might have said that last week, but just let us know what you think should have won Game of the Year. What announcement at the Game Awards were you most excited about? And tell us if we fucked up where we put Super Meat Boy on the list. If you want to support the podcast, you certainly can do that. We would appreciate that very much so. And we do have a Patreon where for $1 a month, you can get the chance to pick one of our Game Club games. How crazy is that? If you got a game that you really want us to play, that's actually coming up real soon. We're choosing a Patreon pick. So if you want to get in on that, get on the action, $1 a month. We also have a Patreon where you can talk to us about video games and tell us how dumb we are. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram to stay up to date. Everything Jump Up Supercast related. And I think that's about it. Oh, no, shit. No, one more thing. Twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast, where we play video games. In fact, We play a lot of games. If you want to find out, you got to check us out. You got to give us a follow. That's it. I'm not going to tell you. You leave it up to the mystery, because the less you know, the better. You want to know, you got to find out. You got to follow us. So with that being said, thank you everybody for listening to the Jump Up Supercast. Go play some video games and be nice to one another. And Muzzy, take it away. Final phrase.
Okay, so here's the thing. The Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year, right? And I see a lot of, people will shrug off people who don't like Last of Us. Oh, you're just some alt-right weirdo. And you know what? The alt-right weirdos hate Last of Us for bad reasons, and they're bad people. But I hate it for good reasons, because I'm good people, okay? Naughty Dog, I cannot roll my eyes more than at a fucking Naughty Dog game. I don't understand how a game that just came and went like that is suddenly Game of the Year. If we're talking about Game of the Year, I want something that actually, that resonated with people, that, was talked about all year long. Last of Us was not that. And I'm tired of Sony's cinematic... Sony makes fine games, but Naughty Dog sucks ass and I hate them. They're the worst Sony studio. Goodbye.
You turned the fucking final phrase into a fucking speech.
Yeah,
it was good. I agree with
Last of Us still top 15 on the list, by the way.
Shout out to Animal Crossing. You should have shout out Animal Crossing, man.